Welcome, curious minds, to The Deep Dive. Today, we're putting on our riding gear, so to speak, and taking a fascinating journey into Bangladesh's incredibly dynamic automobile market, right here in 2025. Now, we've gathered a stack of revealing sources, market analyses, industry reports, you name it, and our mission, really, is to distill the most important nuggets of knowledge for you. Think of this as your essential shortcut to, well, truly understanding what's revving on Bangladesh's roads. We're talking brand battles, buying behaviors, and what the future truly holds for this remarkably resilient sector.
And it's interesting you mentioned resilient because as we unpack this, one of the most striking things you'll find is how Bangladesh's market isn't just growing, it's actually, well, it's deepening its divide.
A divide? How so?
Yeah, a really sharp contrast between, the mass mobility you get from two-wheelers and the more aspirational, almost luxury-driven growth of four-wheelers.
Sure.
And both these segments are shaped by some powerful economic currents, rapidly evolving consumer desires, and some genuinely groundbreaking policy changes. It tells quite a unique story.
That's a fascinating paradox right off the bat. So where do we even begin to get our heads around this?
Well,
I'd argue we have to start with the rubber meets the road for millions, right? The two-wheeler.
absolutely. The undisputed king of the commute.
Exactly. It's not just a bustling highway of vehicles. For countless individuals and families, motorcycles, scooters, they're absolute lifelines. They're the most affordable, fuel-efficient, and frankly practical way to navigate Bangladesh's often congested urban streets and even those more intricate rural paths.
You're spot on. But, 2024 brought a pretty significant market reality check for two-wheelers.
No.
Well, after hitting these huge peak sales, over 500,000 units in 2021, 2022 sales actually plunged, down by about 18.4% in 2024, dropped to around 392,000 units.
Wow, that's a big drop. What drove that?
Largely, it was severe currency depreciation. So their local money just bought less imported stuff combined with double-digit inflation, which really ate into purchasing power.
Okay.
And then you had high interest rates on consumer loans making things tougher.
Right.
But here's the intriguing part. Despite that slump, the core demand for just affordable mobility, it remains incredibly strong.
So the need is still there.
Exactly. These vehicles aren't just personal transport, they're the backbone for lower middle-income folks. And they're absolutely crucial for enabling Bangladesh's booming gig economy, think food delivery, ride-sharing.
Right. That makes sense. So even with these economic headwinds, the need to actually get around just overrides everything else for millions.
Pretty much.
It's not just affordability then, is it? You mentioned something else. There's this youthful momentum, too, which I find really interesting.
Definitely. Bangladesh has a really young population. Median age is just 27.3 years.
Wow.
And that young demographic, they're constantly driving demand, seeking independence, convenience.
And tell me about the local manufacturing side. I hear that's a real success story.
Oh, it's huge. A cornerstone of government policy, actually. Over 80% of the two-wheelers sold today are locally manufactured or assembled.
80%.
Yeah, it's not just about making things domestically. It's a strategic push for self-sufficiency. Saving valuable foreign currency, creating jobs. It's a big deal.
Okay, so that's the two-wheeler picture.
Yeah.
Now, if we shift gears to the four-wheeler market, you said it's a completely different landscape.
Completely different, much smaller in volume, obviously. But this segment really represents aspiration on four wheels.
Aspiration, okay.
It mirrors Bangladesh's rising prosperity, evolving lifestyles. It's heavily influenced by increasing per capita income, rapid urbanization.
But it wasn't immune to the problems in 2024 either.
No, not at all. This segment also faced its own challenges. In fact, 2024 saw total vehicle registrations hit a 10-year low, fewer than 308,000 units registered.
A 10-year low. Ouch.
Yeah, mirroring those two-wheeler challenges, import restrictions, the shortage of foreign currency, and just reduced affordability overall.
So two-wheelers are essential mobility. Four-wheelers are more about, well, ambition, like you said.
Yeah.
And within that, there's this other divide, isn't there? The new versus reconditioned cars.
Oh, absolutely. Historically, the market's been dominated by reconditioned cars, basically imported used vehicles, mostly from Japan.
I saw some stats, I think, from Bicroy, showing something like 59% reconditioned, 40% used, and only 1% brand new listings.
That sounds about right. It really underlines how important value for money still is, even as brand new cars are slowly gaining some traction among the upper income segments.
Right. And are we seeing specific types of four-wheelers becoming popular?
Well, adding another layer, there's definitely an SUV surge kind of mirroring global trends. People like the versatility, the perceived robustness, suitable for different terrains.
Makes sense.
But what's interesting is that sedans, they still hold a strong foothold. People value their fuel efficiency, suitability for families. They're often seen as a more practical urban choice for many.
Okay, so we have these two core segments, two-wheelers and four-wheelers, each with their own dynamics. But you mentioned something earlier, a groundbreaking policy change.
Ah, yes, the big one.
It sounds like a real seismic shift is underway, something that's about to fundamentally redraw the map for two-wheelers specifically.
You got it.
The relaxation of the engine capacity limit, the CC limit, you called it monumental. Why is this such a game changer?
Well, it's monumental because Bangladesh was one of the very, very few countries globally that had such strict CC restrictions for years.
Right, I remember hearing about that.
Now, the Ministry of Home Affairs, they gave the final approval in January 2025 to allow motorcycles up to 375 cc.
375 cc. That's a big jump from the old limit.
It is. But here's the crucial detail, the real kicker. This is only for locally manufactured or assembled models.
Okay. So imported bikes are still capped.
Still capped at 165 cc. So yeah, the roads are literally opening up to a whole new breed of more powerful machines, but there's a distinct bias towards boosting domestic production.
That local manufacturing focus, again, it's a critical piece of the puzzle, isn't it?
Absolutely central to the strategy.
And we're already seeing the impact on the ground, right? Brands are jumping in.
Oh, yeah. Royal Enfield, for example. They're making their presence felt with iconic models like the Billet 350, Meteor Hunter, Classic 350.
And weren't they already producing locally before the final? Okay.
Good point, yes. Their local production with IFAD Group actually started a bit earlier, positioning them perfectly. Then you've got Honda's H&S CB350 out there. Jazz Perk has joined the fray.
So the big names are moving.
And beyond them, other major players like TVS, Hero, Suzuki, Yamaha, Bajaj, they're all poised to bring their higher CC offerings to the local market too.
So what does this actually do to the market structure?
Well, it instantly cultivates this distinct premium motorcycle segment.
Premium, okay. Who's that for?
It caters directly to, say, performance enthusiasts, riders looking for genuine long-distance touring capabilities, or maybe just those seeking a more powerful, prestigious ride.
And so it's not just adding a few new models.
Not at all. It fundamentally diversifies the market. We're moving beyond just commuter bikes and basic entry-level sports bikes. It creates an entirely new aspirational ladder for riders.
Right, an upgrade path.
Exactly.
So with this new CC limit basically reshaping the whole two-wheeler competitive landscape, who looks best positioned to, well, win this evolving battle for dominance, how are the established players reacting?
It's definitely shifting the power balance. It's a really dynamic field right now.
I bet.
You look at Bajaj Auto. Historically, they held the lion's share, right? But in 2024, their sales actually dropped by 10%. Market share down to about 21.8%. They're facing intense competition.
So their response to this higher CC segment is crucial.
Absolutely crucial for their future, yeah. Now, a key takeaway, maybe a bit of a surprise, is Hero motorcycles. They're a real challenger. They saw significant growth, 19% in 2024.
19%, while the market shrank.
Exactly. Secured about 14.8% market share, largely due to their focus on affordable, fuel-efficient models. And they also have higher CC models waiting in the wings.
Interesting. What about the Japanese brands?
Well, what's really striking there is Suzuki and Yamaha. They are neck and neck, aggressively expanding. Both showed really commendable growth in 2024. Suzuki up 8%, Yamaha up 11%.
Wow.
Each of them secured an impressive 19.3% market share.
So they're basically tied for second place behind Bajaj.
Pretty much, yeah. And that places them in a very strong position to introduce their higher performance models into this new space.
And Honda.
Honda, well, they maintained a stable position in 2024, maybe slightly declining, with about 15.2% market share. But their huge advantage is their local manufacturing plant. That's a key asset.
Right. They already have the H&S CB350 in that premium segment.
Exactly. They're already making waves there. Now, on the other side, TVS Auto Bangladesh, they faced the steepest decline in 2024. Sales fell 35%.
Ouch.
Yeah. So for them, their higher CC strategy is absolutely critical for any kind of recovery.
And the newcomers, Royal Enfield, Jawa.
They'll initially carve out, a smaller but probably quite influential niche, attracting the enthusiasts, the long-distance riders. Their market share will start small but could grow significantly in that premium space.
And we shouldn't forget the purely local brands.
Definitely not. Runner, Walton, Roadmaster, they're vital contributors to local content, catering to various price points. And Runner, interestingly, has already produced higher CC bikes for export.
Ah, so they're well positioned too.
Very well positioned for local introduction, yes.
Okay, that's a really clear picture of this evolving battlefield in the two-wheeler segment. Now, shifting gears completely, again, back to the four-wheeler market. You said it's a different story, dominated by a few names. Who's really in the driver's seat there?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, Toyota. Their reign continues. Enduring is the word.
Still, even with local assembly picking up.
Yep. They're the undisputed leader. Their reputation for reliability, durability, high resale value, readily available parts. It means they account for, get this, a staggering 86% of all car ads on major platforms like Bicroy.
86%. That's dominance isn't the word.
It's incredible, isn't it? It's testament to decades of consumer trust. But, like you implied, it does raise interesting questions about market diversity and, local innovation space.
Who else is even in the running then?
Well, other brands like Honda, Nissan, Mitsubishi, Hyundai, they hold smaller but still significant shares. Hyundai, though, is making noticeable strides. Their collaboration with Fair Technology for local assembly is a key strategy.
Right, trying to compete on that local front.
Exactly. And PHP Automobiles, they've been assembling Proton cars since 2017, also aiming to provide a compelling alternative to those imported, reconditioned vehicles.
And Tata, I hear they're big in commercial vehicles.
Very prominent in commercial, yes. And they do have plans, or at least had plans, for passenger vehicle manufacturing. So potential future expansion into new segments there, possibly.
Okay, so if we pull all these threads together, the two-wheelers, the four-wheelers, the new CC limit, the local production push, what does this tell us about the changing tides, the market trends, and maybe more importantly, customer buying behavior in 2025?
No.
Seems like the auto market really mirrors the nation's broader economic realities and aspirations.
It absolutely does. And looking at the trends reveals some key insights into what's driving decisions now.
Like what?
Well, first, those persistent economic headwinds from 2024, we talked about the currency issues, inflation, foreign exchange shortages, they directly led to higher prices, reduced purchasing power. That caused sales to plunge.
So caution is still the word for 2025.
There's hope for recovery, but yeah, caution remains. Second, there's this undeniable accelerated push for local production. That government goal of being an automobile manufacturing hub by 2030 is really driving things.
Reducing import reliance, saving currency, creating jobs.
Exactly. That's the aim. Now, a key point here, despite aspirations, is the continued dominance of the used car reality.
Right, the reconditioned market.
With new car prices soaring, reconditioned, and used cars just remain crucial for the middle class. It's a value proposition.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
What about greener options? EVs, hybrids?
We're definitely seeing emerging green mobility. It's still nascent, early days. But interest in EVs, and particularly hybrid cars, is growing.
Why hybrids specifically?
Probably because they offer a bridge. Lower tax rates help. Rising fuel costs make them attractive, plus growing environmental awareness. But crucially, a robust regulatory framework is needed, especially for EVs, to stop substandard imports flooding the market.
That's a key risk.
It is. And finally, digitalization is deepening. Online platforms for buying, selling, researching, they're gaining real prominence, offering transparency, wider choice.
Changing how people shop.
Completely. And don't forget ride sharing. It has this dual impact, offers an alternative to ownership for some, but also creates earning opportunities for vehicle owners, which indirectly influences sales of certain types of vehicles.
Okay, so those are the big market forces. But how do they filter down to the individual customer? When someone walks into a showroom or browses online, what's really shaping their decision?
Well, for most people, it really boils down to value-driven decisions, especially outside that new premium motorcycle segment or luxury cars.
So practicality first.
Pretty much. Affordability, fuel efficiency, maintenance costs, resale value, these remain paramount, and reliability reigns supreme. That explains the enduring popularity of Japanese brands in cars.
Like Toyota.
Exactly. And established Indian brands in two-wheelers like Bajaj or Hero.
But you mentioned something new with the 350cc bikes.
Right. Specifically for two-wheelers, we're now seeing this upgrade mentality emerge. The availability of these 350cc bikes will foster an upgrade culture among existing riders on 150, 165cc machines.
Which could create a good secondhand market for the smaller bikes.
Potentially, yeah. A healthy churn, another big factor, after-sales service. Hugely important.
Especially for the more complex bikes.
Absolutely. Availability of genuine parts, efficient, accessible service networks, it's critical, especially for these higher capacity motorcycles.
And are buyers looking for more features now? Safety.
Increasingly feature conscious and safety aware, yes. People want modern features, advanced safety tech like ABS, anti-lock brakes, traction control, connectivity options. And definitely, with the higher speeds possible on 350cc bikes, there's a much greater emphasis on safety features.
What about financing?
Oh, financing is a huge catalyst. The increasing accessibility of flexible financing, loan options, it's really democratized vehicle ownership to a large extent.
Making it possible for more people.
Exactly. And finally, don't underestimate the social status and aspiration factor. Owning a personal vehicle, especially a new four-wheeler or one of these high-capacity 350cc motorcycles, it's a significant symbol of social status, of success.
Especially the big bite factor for the new motorcycles.
Oh yeah, that's a strong draw. Drives a lot of aspirational purchases. So given all that, how are the brands trying to, well, influence these decisions? What are the current marketing practices, the art of influence, as it were?
Good question. How are they adapting?
Well, you see brands employing much more integrated campaigns. They're blending traditional media, TV, print with a heavy dose of digital.
Makes sense.
And specifically for these higher CC motorcycles, experiential marketing is becoming crucial.
Like test rides.
Exactly. Test rides, organized riding events, building rider communities, things that allow potential buyers to actually experience the performance and build a sense of belonging around the brand.
And you can sort of see that filtering into the dealerships too, right? They seem fancier, more experience-focused.
Definitely. Dealerships are investing in creating more premium showroom experiences, offering proper test drives, detailed consultations, trying to streamline the financing process.
Do you think we'll see separate showrooms for premium bikes?
I wouldn't be surprised. Dedicated sections or even standalone showrooms could emerge to cater specifically to that premium segment. Makes sense.
What about deals and offers?
Oh, always important. Attractive promotions are key: seasonal discounts, festival offers, low down payment schemes, plus strategic partnerships with banks and financial institutions for accessible loan packages.
Makes ownership easier.
Right. And companies are increasingly highlighting their after-sales service networks, stressing the availability of genuine parts, skilled technicians. It's all about building trust, which, as we said, is vital for these more complex, higher capacity engines.
And is the messaging changing too? Is it more targeted?
Very much so. There's a clear trend towards highly localized messaging, tailoring campaigns to cultural nuances, specific economic realities, emphasizing fuel efficiency for commuters maybe, while focusing on performance, luxury, and features for the premium buyers.
Right, speaking their language.
Precisely. So when we boil it all down, what really influences the final buying decision? It seems like it's this complex web of factors going way beyond just the sticker price.
Absolutely. It's never just one thing, is it?
Never. Take economic stability. That directly impacts purchasing power, confidence, the recent sales slowdown, a direct reflection of economic pressure.
Yeah, you can't buy if you're worried about your job.
Exactly. Then there's government policy, import duties, registration fees, tax incentives, local manufacturing rules. Policy profoundly shapes the market. The 375cc rule is the perfect example. Policy literally created a new market segment overnight.
A game changer, like you said.
What else? Fuel prices, they can be volatile, right?
Yeah.
That directly impacts running costs, making fuel efficiency a top priority for many segments. Though maybe for the 350cc buyer, performance might edge out ultimate fuel economy.
A different calculation there.
Potentially, yeah. Then, road infrastructure. As Bangladesh improves its road networks, builds expressways, that gradually encourages vehicle ownership, makes longer journeys feasible, which again makes higher CC bikes seem more practical.
Okay. What about softer factors, social ones?
Peer influence and social norms definitely play a subtle but significant role. That aspirational aspect of owning a vehicle, influenced by what friends or colleagues have, it's there. And the cool factor of a 350cc bike, that's strong.
Can't forget the cool factor.
Never. Resale value is also a key consideration for many buyers, and this 350cc introduction, it might actually shift resale values in the lower cc segments, something to watch.
Interesting point.
And finally, this raises an important practical question. Rider skill and licensing. The new CC limit will inevitably spark discussions about more advanced rider training, maybe even tiered licensing for higher capacity bikes, just to ensure safety.
Yeah, more power needs more skill, potentially more regulation.
It stands to reason.
Okay, so we've navigated the current landscape, the influences, the market dynamics. Now, Let's gaze into the crystal ball, shall we? What are the key trends and predictions? What's the road ahead look like for Bangladesh's auto industry?
All right, looking ahead, there are several key predictions that really stand out.
Lay 'em on us.
First, expect a strong resurgence in two-wheelers overall. Yes, 2024 was tough, but that 350cc allowance combined with the fundamental demand drivers we talked about, it's going to invigorate the market, leading to much more product diversification, and those premium models will gain serious traction.
So the 350cc C+ segment is here to stay.
Oh yes, it will experience steady niche growth, initially driven by the enthusiasts, but then increasingly by riders looking for better long-distance capabilities, more comfort. It'll become a significant, albeit maybe still smaller, segment within the overall two-wheeler market.
And four-wheelers.
Steady ascent. The growing middle and upper middle class will ensure consistent demand increase. Some projections see the passenger car market nearly doubling by 2025 compared to earlier forecasts, though that might be optimistic given recent headwinds. But growth is expected.
And the local push continues.
Localization is paramount. That push for domestic manufacturing will only intensify. Across both segments and critically, including higher capacity motorcycle engines eventually, this should lead to more competitive pricing, greater variety, and maybe even export potential in the long run.
What about the green wave, EVs?
The green wave is definitely coming. Hybrids, as I mentioned, will likely bridge the gap first, gaining significant traction. Full EV adoption faces infrastructure hurdles, charging stations, grid capacity.
Big challenges there.
Huge. But government incentives and, crucially, a clear regulatory framework will accelerate the transition. We'll likely see more local EV assembly starting up, too.
And digitalization.
It just deepens. Online platforms will become even more central research, price comparison, maybe even direct sales components. This will keep pushing traditional dealerships to integrate digital strategies seamlessly.
What about service for the new bikes?
Enhanced after-sales and service for high-cc bikes becomes crucial. As more complex 350cc machines hit the road, the demand for high-quality service, readily available genuine parts, and properly skilled technicians for these specific models will increase significantly. Brands need to deliver on that.
And the safety aspect.
Finally, yes, a greater focus on rider training and safety is inevitable. The higher speeds, the different performance characteristics of 350cc bikes, it will bring more focus on advanced rider training, road safety campaigns, and, as we discussed, potentially revised licensing categories to ensure responsible riding.
Wow, what an incredible journey we've taken really through Bangladesh's automobile industry. It's such a powerful story of ambition, adaptation, resilience.
Yeah, it really is.
It's clear that mobility, just getting around, remains absolutely vital for the nation's development goals. And now there's this added thrill, this new dimension, with higher capacity motorcycles hitting the roads.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe a final thought for you, the listener. Consider how Bangladesh's strategic focus on local manufacturing, coupled with clever policy adaptation like that 350cc rule, how it could potentially serve as a blueprint, maybe, for other emerging economies looking to develop their own domestic industries and respond to these evolving consumer aspirations.
That's a great point, a model to watch.
Definitely something to ponder. What really stands out to you from this deep dive into the road ahead for Bangladesh?
Food for thought indeed. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you enjoyed the ride.